Proudly We Served is made possible with the support of Premier Toyota of Richmond at 5601 National Road East, Richmond's authorized Toyota new car dealership, online at premiertoyotarichmond.com. And by First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together.
I'm Al Bledsoe, Veterans of 4 and More, Post 1108.
I'm Ron Chappell, a chaplain at Vietnam Veterans Post 777, and co-host here with Al on the program.
I'm Sonja Hendrickson, and I'm with ASPIRE Indiana for the HIV program here in Richmond.
I'm Emily Quillen. I'm the peer mentor for the SSVF program with ASPIRE Indiana.
And we're glad to have you ladies with us today, and hopefully we'll learn more about ASPIRE and what you do today. So why don't we get started with Sonja? Just tell us a brief history of what your day's like and what ASPIRE does and some different things like that.
What is ASPIRE?
What is ASPIRE?
What is
Well,
ASPIRE?
word, yeah.
Well, ASPIRE is behavioral health and physical health, and they have a department of the HIV care coordination here in Richmond. So that is the only thing that ASPIRE offers here in Richmond is the HIV care coordination and STD testing. So we are with 4 people here in the Richmond office, but ASPIRE itself is way bigger. And at the HIV team, we help people who are positive for HIV or AIDS, and we help them with insurance and make sure that they have access to doctors and medical care, and we can help with a little bit of housing and all that. And it's all free of charge. It doesn't cost anything. And the only requirement is that you have to be HIV positive and you have to live in Indiana.
Wow.
So where does your funding come from? Where does the money come from that funds all of that program?
The Indiana State Department of Health.
So it comes from the state.
Yep.
Interesting.
Interesting. I thought it would be a federal program if it was going to be with HIV involved especially. But that's good.
So this is open though to everybody. Now our program, of course, is for and about veterans, but this particular service is open to anybody.
It's open to anybody who is HIV positive and who lives in Indiana.
Right.
Yep.
And some might question, well, if that's the case, if it's not specifically for veterans, why are we talking about it? And veterans travel all over the world. And I know of some veterans who are dealing with issues of HIV. And
Yes, we have veterans in our program.
yeah, and there's something about the veterans, about us folks, we don't want to talk about our problems, and it's hard to get people to get to the services that they can use to help them to deal with some of the issues. So something like this, I think, is a good thing.
Well, with ASPIRE, and that's a question for Emily about how many people do you service and what percentage would you think is the veteran community, because that's kind of what we're concerned about with on our show. So.
Well, I couldn't quote the percentages here in Wayne County, but last year, ASPIRE served I believe it was 89 veteran and veteran families that were homeless or at risk of becoming homeless.
Wow.
So
do you guys work in tandem? You work together?
I don't cover Wayne and Rush counties. So, if she does have a question about, veterans, I always try to help her.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, one of the reasons I wanted her to come is because we need to have that service in Wayne County. And I'm hoping folks that will listen to this, that somebody the light bulb might come on and say, hey, I want to get involved with that and bring that project here to Wayne County. So tell us a bit about what you do. What kind of services do you provide?
I'm the peer mentor, which means, you know, when we bring veterans that are, you know, homeless or at risk of becoming homeless into the program, you know, I provide wraparound services for them, whether it be helping them locate medical help for, you know, the veteran or for the whole family, housing, counseling, assistance with childcare, you know, transportation, assistance with, you know, clothing for work, and you know, just the whole wraparound. And not only that, I'm there to listen to them, you know, to help guide them, you know, in the direction that they need to be going into. So,
Let me ask you a leading question, and I know this is going to sound like a stupid question. How do you tell if a person's homeless or if they're going to be homeless? How do you determine that?
well, I mean, obviously you can
Like,
look-
is it a questionnaire, or is it we sit down like we're sitting down, or do you have a questionnaire you fill out, or how do you
there-
do that?
Well, obviously, you know, if they're staying at a shelter, we would get a statement from the shelter that they are staying there, that they are in fact homeless. You know, if they're sleeping in the vehicle, you know, we get a statement from them stating that, you know, they are in fact either sleeping in a vehicle or sleeping in a park or sleeping on a bench.
Where is the target for most of that? I'm curious because I do kind of a similar thing in kind of what I do, but I don't really deal with the homeless people as much as I do the people that need food and clothing and shelter and things like that. But it interests me that the homeless person, how you determine that. And some, like in our town, if you go to Walmart or any of the main parking lots in town, Menards, any of them, people be holding up signs they're homeless, need food, need shelter. Is all that smoke and mirrors, or is that the real deal?
Well, some of it is smoke and mirrors, and you know, some of it is they are in fact homeless. They are in fact of need of assistance. So I mean, you just have to, you know, you're going to have to, you know, talk with them and find out what's going on.
Right. Now, on your part of ASPIRE, you have a veterans-specific program,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Veteran and veteran family.
Okay. Now, how does that work? Does the veteran come to you? Do you guys seek them out? Is there some agency that refers them? How does that?
Well, all of the above.
Okay. Okay.
You know, part of my job also is to do outreach with, you know, the entities within the community, whether it be a soup kitchen or, you know, your work one, your homeless shelters, you know, just meetings, or actually going out hitting the streets. I mean, going to libraries, you know, going to stores that are open 24 hours. And I know this sounds kind of weird, but even bars and liquor stores.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, some of it, some of our veterans are actually referred to us, you know, by the VSO's office, you know, your work ones.
Does the government help you with that if it's a veteran involved in it? If he's a veteran and this guy has PTSD, or if he has some other mental problem, it looks like to me the government would be intervening. I mean, it's in my opinion, and maybe that's not the way everybody thinks, but it's my opinion that we need to worry about our veterans and then worry about other people coming into our country. Did that sound right?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
That's a whole other topic.
That's a whole nother thought process. So
I'm not
we're
going
not
to go
going
there
to
with
get deep
that.
into that, but it's just something I felt like I had to throw out there.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, we do a lot of referral, okay? You know, some of the veterans are not eligible for VA services if they have anything other than an honorable discharge. You know, we have to kind of think outside of the box and, you know, be able to refer them out to like ASPIRE. ASPIRE offers mental health services. It's just wherever they are going to feel comfortable.
That's a good point.
Going
Donna.
to.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. You cannot force a veteran to go someplace that they don't feel comfortable,
Yeah.
because they're not they're not going to go, or if they do go, they're not going to maintain.
Right. So if they have a dishonorable discharge, we know that they can't.
If they have a dishonorable discharge, unfortunately, the SSVF program cannot assist.
Right. But,
However, I will refer out to other entities.
okay,
So
but,
Sonja, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, but if they have a less than honorable, they can qualify? That's kind of like borderline, you know, before the dishonorable, less than honorable.
You get a
other
general
than
discharge.
honorable,
General
a general
discharge.
discharge, and
Those
other
are- those
dishonorable.
are- okay, yeah.
Other than honorable, I mean, yes, we can assist as long as they meet the qualifications of having at least one full-time service. Okay, and 2, their discharge is not dishonorable,
Right.
and 3, they have to meet our area median
Okay,
qualifications
Okay.
of income.
right. Oh, okay.
What is your day like, Sonja? What do you do in the daytime? Like, I guess you start at 8 or 9 o'clock?
Yep. I
Okay.
start at 8 o'clock and I visit my clients and I talk to them at
Okay.
least every 3 months to see how they're doing, what their needs are.
And you're not only in Richmond, but what other counties did you?
We have, let's see, Rush County, Henry County, Fayette County, Decatur County, Dearborn County,
Wow.
and I'm sure that I'm forgetting a couple, but
So you get hold of these people, you call them on the phone, or
we can call them on the phone. But
So
we
even though they're
prefer-
homeless, they got a phone.
My clients are not homeless usually.
Yeah, but
And when they are homeless,
Yeah.
then we're having programs available to help them to get homes.
so you're not only working with HIV, but you're also, if you run into a homeless person, you're going to try to help that person.
Only if the person has HIV.
Only if the person's
Yeah.
HIV.
I
Yes.
see, that's what
Very
I'm thinking.
unique.
If we had Emily's program here,
Yeah.
they could work together,
Yes.
referring to people across.
Yes.
So that's what we need to try to work
Yeah.
at then, because there's a need for homeless veterans to have help.
Sure.
And sometimes, and he and I have talked about this before, sometimes it's hard to determine a homeless person, and if they need the help, how do you really qualify them? Because you know, some of these guys or ladies or whatever they are, and they're kind of good at grandstanding a little bit. So you have to sort all of that stuff out. So you have to be able to interpret that. We have a person at the VFW, Steve Brassfield, that actually screens people. If they come in, they need assistance, whether it's finance, anything they need, he's willing to sit down and talk to them and see if we can help them in some way.
Right.
So that's something that's kind of unique.
Richmond used to have the SSVF program through ASPIRE, but last year that was canceled. Intercure decided to cancel it because there was just not enough participation.
And that astounds me because we have so many veterans in our community
Yeah.
that they could not get participation. Was it that the word was out there, they weren't responding, or there wasn't enough advertisement?
Probably all of the above.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not getting that for some reason. I'm just not grabbing that because there are people or men and ladies in the community that need help, especially veterans, and I'm not understanding why they don't. And maybe it's one of those things that they just don't want people to know.
Well, and here's the big thing with, the veterans, and you know this just as well as I do, from the time that we go through boot camp, it's bred into our head, to ask for help is a sign of weakness.
Sure.
Yes.
So
I get that.
when the veteran is actually asking for help, it's dire need.
Yes.
Dire need.
I heard a
So
latent message in there. A latent message. You said our. Are you a veteran?
yes.
All right.
All right.
I heard that.
But I guess I'm from the school that if it's a veteran and they need something, but I don't know how you go into the community and help people because, like she just said, veterans are hard-headed and they're not willing to ask for help unless they're really down to it, you might say. To me, somehow we have to find a way to get that rejuvenated in Richmond, because there are guys in this town that I know that could use some help. But finding those people out, and I don't know whether if you're out in the community a little bit with some of these veterans, the clubs, if that tells us a little bit about where that veteran's at with things, and boy, I'm amazed at
Now,
people will not ask for help.
I will say this, once a year there is a pit count done, and that's a point in time count, and basically each county has specified persons that go out and actually find out, or try to go to the shelters, just the different areas where the homeless congregate. And so I would encourage them to, those people to ask if they are not necessarily a veteran, but if they served in the military. Okay. And those statistics could help.
So what the collection point would be where for the data for the
your continuum of care persons, that would be a good starting point. And then that information, I do believe, would go to the VA.
Okay.
What will it take to get this program like she's talking about? What would it take to get that rejuvenated in Wayne County?
I honestly could not tell you. I only can tell you that we can contact Intercare and see what they say.
So Intercare, that's the governing people, or
so how this SSVF program works with, so Intercare is the grantee from the VA, because the SSVF program is VA funded. Okay. So Intercare is the grantee. And then ASPIRE is one of the contractors of that grant.
Okay, all right.
So how long has ASPIRE been doing all of this?
I believe I have been with ASPIRE, I'll be 3 years in January. And so I want to say just shy of 4 years.
And it's a state program, so the money actually comes from the state?
No.
There are different programs.
Yeah.
That's a different
the
program.
HIV program,
Okay.
where I'm involved in, that is a grant from the state.
Okay.
Now, ASPIRE itself also has a health clinic, and it has behavior health, and the SSVF, some housing available in Anderson and stuff. So it's
But we don't have that here. We don't.
no,
we
here
don't
in
have
Richmond,
that
the
here.
only thing we have is the HIV team, and we are 4 people here in town. We have 2 care coordinators, I'm 1 care coordinator, and we have a tester that goes out into the community to test for STDs. And we have an SPSP person. She helps people with substance use to give a little bit extra support. And so that's 4 people here in ASPIRE Richmond.
So if you, how do you make your contacts? Like with,
That's what I was thinking,
with an
if you go out in the community,
HIV person, how do you, because a person with HIV is going to be probably a little reluctant, I would think, to say much of anything, but maybe not, maybe.
Well, if somebody gets tested by one of our testers and turns out to be positive, they get referred to us. But it's very important for people who have HIV to take their medications, because now with those medications, if you take your medications, you can live like you don't have HIV.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
You can be as healthy as somebody who does not have HIV. And that is not always accessible. You can't always just go to the doctor. You don't have insurance. And then doctors can refer them to us, or they call us ourselves and say, hey, I need insurance. Can you help me with that? And there actually is a state program that helps to give insurance to people who have HIV, who have no other means to get insurance.
Wow.
So if you have HIV, you are almost guaranteed to have insurance if you're under the income limit.
So how do I become a recipient? I mean, you can say you go out into the community and you test. How do you know who to test? I mean, where do you go? Do you go to the bars? Do you go to the, where do you go?
Our tester in our office goes to colleges and tests there, set up testing. and jails and homeless shelters.
Yeah.
Is it?
All right.
Let me get this, because I'm trying to get all this wrapped around my head here a little bit. So what you're saying is that, let's say Wayne County Jail, for example, you're going to go to Wayne County Jail, you're going to set up a booth or program and say, hey, we're testing for HIV. Is that?
Yep.
Am I getting that
Yep.
right? Interesting.
And she goes
like
to
that.
those jails frequently. She has certain times that she comes. So the
Sure.
jail can also announce it, hey, if you want to get tested, sign up.
Now I'm starting to
like that.
understand what the program is.
I like that.
They actually go to, they bring it to them, if you will, and then they have to do the test. And then if they're HIV positive,
They'd be
Sonja comes
referred,
in and
yep.
says, sit down, I can try to help you if I can.
Yeah.
And that's, okay, now I'm getting it. I'm getting it now.
And we still reach part of the veteran community, because unfortunately we got veterans who are incarcerated, and you know, and so they
Yep.
become recipients
I'm
of
just
responses.
wondering why something couldn't be set up. Does the person go to the clubs or any of those places like that, like the Legion or the VFW or any of those kind of places like that?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that there are different grants for different testers. And our testing grant is towards drug abuse. So especially the needle, people who are in a high risk of contracting HIV or STDs because of needle use and that's where our grant is directed to. So then you get to the jails and stuff. Now the
But
bars,
you don't really go to the
bars would
clubs.
be a different
Different thing.
population.
Sure, okay.
I
get
think
that.
for HIV it would be more the men that have sex with men at
Wow.
gay bars.
Okay. All right.
But that is not our grant, so that's not what we do.
Or in the prisons where that occurs often. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's for real, folks. That's
Yeah,
just the way it
that's
is.
that's
the way it is.
That's a real
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
So,
sure.
and that's what we're trying to get at here today, just a little bit of how we can incorporate what Emily does and try to bring that to Wayne County
Right. Right.
and help her grow ASPIRE in Wayne County
Right.
if it has the funding to do all of that.
Right. Right.
See, and that's because I'm a big thing of, talk's cheap, but action, it takes action to get things done. And,
Yeah.
Yep.
and that's, I'm a real believer in that kind of stuff, that if we can talk all day long, but until we really get it in our head that we're going to try to help somebody, we're not going to help anybody. I mean, we're not,
Right.
we just go down life's road and we just do whatever we have to do.
Which brings me to the point of, what can we do to help you guys?
Yeah. That's just,
What can we do? What can our viewing audience do? What can we do to help you guys in your mission?
I think the biggest thing is, as far as Sonja's program is, just getting the word out that there is somebody there to help, that there is free testing.
maybe if we had some brochures or something
I can do
at the
that.
clubs and stuff like that, maybe something like that would help. Kind of push that down the road just a little bit, or I'll certainly bring it up in the next post meeting, which is Thursday night. I'm going to bring it up, that service is available, because actually until Ron started talking about having you ladies on, I really didn't know what ASPIRE was. I thought it was for alcoholics and drug addicted people. I had no clue it was for HIV people and all
They are
that
welcome
stuff.
too, though.
Of course.
I mean, we're from the school that anything we can do to help the veteran community, we want to try to be involved in it, or try to at least help with it in some kind of way, I think.
Right.
So,
So how do they get a hold of you? How do they contact you, son?
They can call us at the office here in Richmond. The phone number is 765-962-8742.
okay.
And we are located downtown.
You're in the 600 building.
Not
that right?
anymore. We
Not
recently
anymore?
moved. We moved
Okay.
in April.
Where are you at now?
We are on 604 North B Street, right across from the Legion.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
I know
ideal.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
604 North B.
Okay, all right.
right by the Legion.
And you, young lady.
And me, young lady.
Okay.
She dyes her hair.
I am actually centrally located in Anderson, and I service Madison County, Hamilton County, and Northern Marion County. As far as veterans that are in need of assistance, the big thing now would be, to refer them to the VA. They do have HUD-VASH program, which is it's pretty much the same thing as HUD, except for the VA pays for the voucher, and HUD just manages it. So just refer them there right now.
How high, let me ask it, I want to get that out. How prevalent is the HIV problem in the bigger scope of things in Rush County, Wayne County, Henry County, all the counties you call on? How prevalent is it, and how much need is out there for
It
that?
really wasn't that bad anymore. We don't get a lot of referrals, but there was just a big outbreak here in Indiana, in Scott County. Over 200 people got infected.
Oh, wow. Through a needle, probably.
Yes.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mercy.
Yeah.
Well, we
So-
certainly have that issue in Wayne County.
Yeah.
And if that needs to be corrected. But
Yep.
it also needs to be corrected if we have people out there that need assistance in that way. They need to call you and try to sit down and see if they can't come to a resolve there somehow and help.
Well, we're going to do more to try to help you guys get your program out there. And I'm really interested in getting an intercare program in Wayne County. So we'll be contacting.
I will give you Ashley's phone number.
Okay, all right. And anybody out there that's interested, right, would contact you, and maybe if they want to work it or something? Or?
That is honestly something that would need to go through the programs, the supervisor.
Okay, all right. We'll work it. We're out of time.
We're out of time.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
I really
ladies, for
appreciate
Thank you for
it.
having
Thank
us.
you.
And as I
Appreciate
said
that.
before, you got something you want to get out, let us know. We get you back on the
Awesome.
program.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And if you'll get us information about what you do and the services and all that stuff, this in-care or whatever it is, we'll get that out in the community somehow. We'll get it to the clubs, the service clubs, and let them know. And if they take it and run with it, we won't have any problem with it. So with that, we're going to sign off.
We got to go.
See you next time.
Proudly We Served is made possible with the support of Premier Toyota of Richmond at 5601 National Road East, Richmond's authorized Toyota new car dealership. Online at premiertoyotarichmond.com. And by First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together.